So what do you want to do with the help on that side?
Amanda, is the sound up on that?
It is.
Can we mute it just
Oh, okay.
before we get started?
Sure.
Got enough. You can go ahead and unmute it.
All right.
Well, good afternoon. This is my first full budget experience with the city. So as we go through and work through this, if there's any issues that I missed, I know y'all been through this before, so just help keep me between the ditches. As I go through, and I guess the first thing we need to look at is revenue. Would that be appropriate? Okay, so as we go through and we look at our revenue for 2021, we projected the revenue coming in to be $6,460,500. As of to date, we have collected $7,684,030.32. Would that be accurate, Amanda?
As of July 30th, July
July
30th.
30th.
Yes,
So that's where we stand. We haven't finished out the fiscal year.
correct.
So we are roughly 1.2 million over our projected revenue at the end of July 30th. Okay. So as it stands right now, with the budget request that we have received for the general fund, we're at $6,498,599. So if our projected revenue for 21, 22, I believe that we've got enough revenue in there to cover what our budget request would be.
Now, are not some of these requests won't show up until the end of the year? Or some of them,
All the
the-
bills haven't been paid, right?
Right, all the bills haven't been paid. We still have 2 more months, but we still have 2 more months to collect revenue. But this is what was requested during the first initial, and it kind of, pretty much all these requests, if any of them would change, I don't think it would be very much.
okay, I thought some of them were basically they aren't spent till right at the end of the year type things. But okay,
That's not until like capital improvements and ABC.
okay.
Yeah.
And
But
then,
mainly, I believe all the departments have spent what they're gonna spend or they're fixing to. I've given them the updated budget too, so they know where they stand.
Okay.
and on our request, it does not include capital improvements. So,
This is just the
Just
general
general.
fund.
general fund,
Yeah.
Right.
So the revenue,
Right.
capital improvements also comes out of sales tax. and all that.
Yeah,
So in the general fund though, that does include all of the salaries.
yes,
So, we're covered when it comes down on, the raises that we put in place, the retirement
yes.
increase, we're pretty much covered on all of that in general fund. So I don't know, are there any issues that we foresee, Amanda, or
Not on
we
the,
pretty much locked in?
not on the revenue, but the, general expenditures,
Mhm.
our professional services. I kind of updated it and did some more calculations on it. And so I raised it to 127,000. We're, I don't know where I got that other number. I think I was leaving a couple of things out. So I went through there and made sure all of that was up to date. Now the sweeping, it may go away if Michael gets his capital improvement request for buying a sweeper. So that's up in the air.
Okay.
Right, 27, okay. Advertising, I noticed that it's 113,34 was in the red, but for next year, you increased that 14,000, so
Yes, sir.
that should take care of that. I don't see it. Now, I know all costs on just about everything we do has gone up some.
Yeah.
so.
Well, had a lot of job openings and we've had a bunch of things we had to advertise that we didn't normally budget for too.
Right. I think we'd be good there. Insurance and bonds, you increased it 200,000. Looks like we spent 231.
I know we'll be having that one building is coming off, the M block building.
Mhm.
That was on there, so that was coming off. It was increased a little bit because there were certain things that did not even have insured,
Okay.
but we got all that corrected last year.
Okay. Okay, and the increase in the contingency fund, you increased that to 75,000. Okay. Because we went a little about 3,500 over
Mhm.
this year, so that should cover that. Okay. All right. So do we have any other comments in reference to the general fund?
That's what I was gonna remember. Ricky Powell sent me, which will come out of capital improvement, but he sent me his request for the lawnmower. And then also he was asking, he said that his truck was not supposed to be renewed this year. It's gonna be in fiscal year 23. But all the state bid people and the dealerships are telling him that if he doesn't go ahead and submit for purchase a truck, then he may not receive it even in fiscal 23. It may be, everything's a year behind manufacturing vehicles.
So that would be a letter of intent. to
Yes.
purchase, Just like we did for when
That-
Bill Wayne came in and asked
Ambulance.
about the ambulance.
And he was asking if he could go ahead and get a letter going that he would like that, but he doesn't want it till fiscal year 23. But they're saying everything's a year behind.
Yeah, I had the same issue come up today, and I guess I need to give Councilman Bruton, because the issue came up about replacing police vehicles. And they pretty much gonna need a letter of intent also if we intend to purchase. Because just like she was talking about the truck, that's, all that stuff is running a year behind in production.
They done got it all figured out, ain't it? They're gonna make us buy them when we don't even want to buy them.
That's a salesman. They went to some sales.
Yeah.
school, didn't they?
And then the other thing is they want to put all these little dealerships out of business and look like they're fixing to do that too.
Looks like.
Oh,
Well,
wait.
that's the Kubota, which is planned for this year to replace. And then that's his truck that he has got off state bid.
Everywhere you go in small towns, except Greenville. Greenville Chevrolet got a lot full.
Yeah, but they got a lot full of a lot of used stuff too. I think it makes it look like it. Like we went down and got our Gales vehicle, got a Santa Fe. They had a whole front parking lot full of vehicles. Every one of them was used. And the Genesis new in the front, they only had 6 Sonatas on the whole lot. And they used to have a whole back lot full of them. 6.
They got a new dealership too. They don't they? Got a Green
They're building it.
on the other side.
It's the same dealership, but he's gonna move it on down. I think it's down below that hotel.
Right, yeah. I thought they was gonna do G.
It's like Atmos advertising. They got 300 vehicles on the way. Just pick yours. Yeah, they got them on order, but they don't know when they're gonna get them. We Motor Company, I think, it said 60 some pickups ordered. That
They get 1 or 2 of them.
yeah, they got 2 in last week.
It's too long.
They don't stay long either.
Sales Ford didn't have it.
They have
They
none.
had one truck.
Yeah, and then that was his. He said he took it off there because he wouldn't have anything to drive. No used cars, no new ones. I said they're gonna put the little boys out of business.
And which, Mandy's been gone. I meant to ask her before she left. But for the police, the training and travel, which it all depends on where they go, but we spend about that much when they go to the academy. And that's based on 4 people going to the
In
academy
Montgomery.
in Montgomery.
Yeah.
That one's a whole lot cheaper, but we can't guarantee that we'll
Yeah.
get there. And that's if we get the 4 new recruits too, on top of that.
I had a discussion with, we had the new officers, I swore them in today. And talking with Michael and, Lieutenant Davenport, Lieutenant House and Captain Sermon. If we get back up with the number of part-time folks that we got, if we can get 3 more full-time officers, we're pretty much be back up to the staff. So, and one of the part-times that, and this coming up in the meeting to hire is a Michael Lambert, who used to be chief deputy down in Escambia County. Know him a long time. I think he'd be a great asset. I'd love to have him full-time, but he works, he's on state retirement, so there's only so much he can earn in a year. He'd be a good asset for him. A lot of experience.
Since we're this far out, do we have to commit to buying it from the state bid list? Or can we give local dealers a chance also?
I wonder if the local dealers can work off a letter of intent.
Yeah, I mean, he'll guarantee it either.
No. They can't.
But in the past, I know it's your thoughts there and I understand it, but in the past, they've had very little luck with
With,
doing it,
yeah,
being able to compete with it.
with a year notice, they might be.
They might be able to.
I don't have a problem if paying more if it started looking $3,000-4,000.
Yeah, we agree with it, 3 or
It's gotta
5%.
be 2 or 3%.
I think it's
whatever it
3%.
was, yeah.
We agreed that if it was 3% more, we'd take a local bid. Which would keep us from changing anything.
So, Amanda, did we include in the police budget hiring additional officers?
Yeah,
I know you got in there on the academy side.
yeah, I have it down here, the vacant, says the 4, and she said she wasn't sure about the corporal, but she
Okay.
said just to leave it in there. So
Okay.
yeah, I have the 4, and then, right now we just have the 3 part-time patrol officers, so yeah, all that's in there.
Okay.
The new guy is from Dickinson, Alabama. Where is that? From that company? Dickinson, Alabama.
Dixon, yes.
From the Dickinson,
Now, you talked about the one that,
from the
Full-time? okay, we have one that was full-time today. He came from Mobile Police Department. I think he's there down here to do here.
Yeah, he lives in Purdue Hill.
Okay,
Mr. Green, that, I know he's from Clark County, that's where he came from, but I'm not sure.
right,
That's where this guy is from Dickinson.
yeah.
That's that
Dixon is
lady.
right there. And, then the Chandra, she's from Clark County also.
Okay, yeah. And she graduated from the academy, so
She
we just
graduated
need it.
from the academy,
So she's full-time patrol now.
full-time, so she's got her accreditation here. Police are post certification. And the other two already had their post certification. And Michael Lambert, he has his post certification. So I think he's good on, all those people don't have to do any additional training on.
Yes, he'll pretty much work weekends, holidays, or something when he's off. And me,
He can, Michael, he can make up to, you see, he's not working at the building.
thought his resume said IT or something.
Yeah, but
He don't do that.
Yeah, he did work down there. I talked to him the other day. He's not working there anymore. And, so he'll come here because he's actually moved into the south end of Monroe County. So, he can make up to, I think it's like 32,000 a year. So they can pretty much almost work him full time until the end of the year.
That Jimmy Dale boy.
I don't know his people.
You know Jimmy Dale, man.
Yeah, I know Jimmy.
I think that's his.
He used to teach me while I was in school. Yeah.
It's either his or Gary's. I think one or the other. I think it's Jimmy Dale. He's a big old boy, ain't he?
Yeah.
Big tall. Yeah, I think it's Jimmy Dale.
So he was chief deputy down there at Scambia County, Grover Smith.
Mm.
And Grover retired. He ran for sheriff and he lost the election. Like I said, we're getting a quality gentleman now. Okay. All right. I didn't print off any of the other things, Amanda. What other ones we need to go through right now?
Do you want to go by each department, or you're all good with the general fund, or?
No, we're not voting on this tonight, right?
No, I'm just getting it together because we got to vote by September 30th.
Okay. I mean, the opportunity, we sit down and go over this ourselves and question next time possibly,
Yeah.
more than anything. I mean, we're not, no season going line by line if we got a question or something. Next time we come back and do that.
Okay.
I thought, first for myself, I'd like to do that.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we can do that. Okay. What other ones did you print off?
I didn't print any of the other ones off,
Okay.
but
All right.
I figured next time we would do the capital improvement,
Okay.
finish that up. I know we didn't put no revenue, but we heard everybody that's gonna come and ask for money,
Right.
or if y'all still want to give money to people. And then the ABC on the next time, I'll have it all printed off.
Okay.
And then the gas tax, which is, that's pretty much the same thing. So I'll print all those off. And we'll have them for the next time.
And, then at some point, we gotta go, well, the departments, their budgets, pretty much rolls up into the general fund, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so, and when it comes down to departments, we just be looking at each individual
Mhm.
and, make sure that what they're requesting is kind of in line with what they need and you're not exceeding that revenue.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then at the end of August, I'll update it again of our income and expenses.
Okay.
And I can just send that out in the email.
I had scheduled for Mr. Scott to come in on the 25th. So that we can go through and talk about the plan to put together for extending the American Rescue Plan. Right? And there may be some things that we can actually go back and he's been studying stuff to make recommendations to us. There may be some items that we can go in and move from our general fund to pay for those expenses related to COVID and free up money in our general fund. But we got him scheduled to come in on the 25th. And that's why we were asking for everybody that had it to get that questionnaire back in. We'll compile all of the answers and start to develop this plan.
Is he getting them all?
I went through and I think he he had everybody except 4 council members, I think.
That's what you said.
Right, and so, that was last week when I sent that email out again, so you probably have them all by now.
Don't have mine. I don't know what direction we need to go with it and the things we want, so I mean, it kind of, I'm depending on his guidance as much as
Right.
anything.
Well, it was just questions.
I understand that.
But he'll come back in, he'll be able to, direct us and give us
Okay.
guidance on, we take what we got and we move forward from there, then we can ask questions that we get farther into it.
He changed out of contract at the last meeting.
Mhm.
That was on that. Devin, I guess you got it.
But that's still my questions, if they have,
I did that online.
Right.
there is an old school, he knows how to do it online.
Just got time.
That's what it is, he got
Time.
Okay. So,
this time next year, I'll be able to say that.
I want to see that. I want to see you come in and pull that iPhone out and lay it up there.
They messed me up on my truck, I can't call on it no more, I'm mad about that. They did away with that. So, yeah, all of them gonna be discontinued in February, they said.
Oh.
The OnStar calling,
Really?
and the new vehicle's gonna have a chip in it, you can't even make it now, still have OnStar for the crash and the direction, but no phone service.
That's what I paid for.
That's what I paid for too,
You might go live.
but it's good, it'll be good to February and then it'll be over with. Your vehicle, that's what they told me. I said, can I have my old truck back? And they said, nope, it's been sold.
so see, I got, like on my video, it's got hands-free calling.
Yeah, there won't be no more, not unless you have your phone hooked into it,
Oh, okay,
but you won't be able to use them to do it.
okay, yeah.
That was my phone, that was my cell phone. If I was out going somewhere, I need Gail, need to get up here, I need to get up with her out of town, and I always had that. I did have that. But I don't have a cell phone. But now they took away that from me now.
So you say next year those things.
They told me in February the service will be discontinued, period. For everybody.
I'm saying, I was hearing you telling Larry, next year you have a cell phone.
Well, he's saying that. I told him about retiring next year. This time next year, I'll be retired, see, so I can be able to do that like him. That's why he said that.
Come in here with that iPhone. This'll be an iPhone 15 by then.
Be a little flip phone. That's what it's all gonna be.
He's only retiring from 1 out of 4 jobs, right?
Yeah,
Right.
I give him 2 hours a day.
That's right.
I don't. this was good up until, four. We got this out. Next one coming out, the capital improvement and
The ABC.
ABC fund.
What happened?
Well, if you don't mind, go ahead and pull the ABC up. Let's see what we got in there while we got some time. That's when we'll probably have money left. We need to figure out where it's gonna go.
ABC, this is what everybody's requested so far.
Okay.
Yeah, I wrote the little notes.
And so how much we've got money to spend.
We haven't done that.
Okay, I thought we already have I thought we have already told us what we have.
No, we were just taking people's requests.
Yeah, but I'm talking about revenue, how much we have that we can spend.
Oh, y'all haven't said any, like, we haven't went by that line item yet.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
But am I of the impression that the money, when we do ABC, it's already money that we have put in the bank from the year before collection. Not
Coming up to surplus from this year.
They
Yes,
kind of rolled over. There's some that rolled over. I'll have to get the balance for.
okay. I,
But we base it off of, what we're expecting, which, I mean, there's money in the.
yeah,
account.
because
I
it's
get
not
you.
the end of the year yet. I
Yeah.
understand that.
Yeah, the money's in there,
Yeah.
yes,
Yes. But the total amount will not be there at the end of September.
correct. So this is what, we have the symphony out of it.
What are we gonna do about this year? If they cancel and we already get the money, are they gonna roll it over? Or they gonna just keep it?
That's up to y'all.
I'm talking about they, I'm telling you, it may be up to them.
Well, see, the last time they canceled, we paid them and we couldn't get anything back.
That's what I was afraid
So
of.
that's totally up to y'all if y'all, but right now, Dawn, she has collected $11,000 for it.
That Alabama River.
No, that is different organizations.
Okay,
I
but
don't
they
know.
donated pretty good bit, I think.
Yeah.
Previously.
But let's see, the symphony so far, we haven't done anything, but last year we had to work out
Yeah.
the 18 and that.
I understand last year was kind of a little more of a surprise, but I don't know about this year doing that. Being
Because
that
Dawn,
generous.
yeah, Dawn was saying it's gonna be about 24,300 that they're requested this year.
We do we not have the symphony? last
No,
year
sir.
At Christmas?
Uh-uh,
Oh, they pulled the
they
plug.
pulled out.
They pulled the plug pretty close to doing it.
And they just kept our money.
Yep.
'Cause it's been,
We already sent it to them. That was,
We need to fix that contract.
I don't think it's necessarily contact. We'd already sent the money to them, and I think that was, we probably could have turned and requested back maybe, but we didn't.
I can ask Dawn if some of that money could be applied to this year's.
And my thing be wait this year to decide what they're gonna do before we get to it. I'm saying they have their fences going on. I appreciate them and what they're doing, but get something out of it.
And then the scholarship, we should still get the 2,500 that comes from the public services, which that's in our
Yeah.
contract with them, that they give us that, so we can get that out. Beer and wine, this is what we've collected so far. We budgeted 225,000. So this is as of the end of July, so.
Doing pretty good.
It's gonna be more than that.
We're drinking a little more this year. They said everybody was drinking more.
Yeah, Lord got that new store going too.
Yeah. Yeah, they just moving it around, going from one to the other.
You want to just keep at the 225?
Yeah, right. That's fine. That's it, but let's look at what. Yeah, that'll give an idea where we need to be on the other stuff. Should be at least that much.
Miscellaneous revenue, that would be the, I want to say, when they apply for the ABC license. And then also the ABC, I can't think right now. So we rarely have miscellaneous revenue out there, but I know some of that's with the, when they apply for the liquor license, sometimes we charge them for the application. It depends on the situation.
If it's a business, it could be versus a charitable operation.
Miscellaneous donations, sometimes we get stuff for like the police or the fire, and they ask us to put it in there, but we normally don't budget anything for that. And then for the litter fund campaign, so far, they raised $5,050 just this year for it. Did we want to budget anything for it or just leave it?
Let's put 2,000 in there.
Okay.
I think most of the expenses have already been covered out of it.
Wasn't there, they were gonna do signage again, like this for the streets, people adopt and stuff like that? That been done and is it, and that needs to be paid for out of this?
Yeah, that would, most of that came off from donations that folks gave us.
And I
So
know
I'm not
it's solicited
sure.
from me and I donated.
Right, and I don't know
Without, on the assumption, one of the assumption was that there was gonna be signage,
right.
put out litter signage. There is some litter
Yeah,
signage
there
put
are
out.
some litter signs put up, and, I guess the thing that I need to do is come back and we see what the balance is in this. And then that give us an idea of, what we might need to go back and budget.
Yeah.
I do know we had some advertising money in there that the city had that we used, to pay for some of the advertising. And so wherever that came from, man, we probably need to put that back in the budget too.
I'm trying to see where we took it out, but I don't see line item for it. Because we were taking it out of this account. I don't know. I may have been taking it out of the general fund, so I will see.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
'cause we've had a couple things for advertisement. I remember coming through and it was for that specific
Right.
thing.
Right. Yeah, it was, I think it was somewhere between $500 and $1,000 that was somewhere. And that's what we used to start with, and then we started taking in donations. So, we'll see what we have left, what that was, and then we'll.
In the expenses, what is City Hall
Um,
expenses are in that?
I'm-
Miscellaneous things, or copiers or whatever, what do you do?
I mean, we've updated our copier. It's,
Did that come out of there?
that normally we would pay, when we were upgrading our software. So these were some computers we had to upgrade because the whole Microsoft wasn't gonna work. So we had to update some computers. But as far as I know, we don't really, I can't think of anything, but we can.
Yeah,
budget.
I asked Sam Yarborough to come in today to talk about the upgrades and stuff that, we're having to go back out and do, and where we're migrating to back up on Amazon Web Services.
Okay.
So, we may have to put some money back in that, to pay for that, because it not only affects City Hall, it affects the police department also.
We can just, you wanna do 5,000 to start with?
What we got in there right now, 15?
We budgeted 15, but we've only spent
Yeah.
6,800.
I would say for the time being, put 15 back in, because our cheap stuff's gonna be cheap.
The contingency fund, we just kind of do that at.
Yeah, whatever's left.
Main Street, they asked for 48, and that was, 42 of it was funding, and 6,000 was for their special projects programs that they were doing.
And that'll be one that if we don't have enough money, we may go back and take some off of it.
Public works equipment, this one's not too high, but 10,304.42, and that was for, the radio, mic and antenna, some more security cameras or replace security cameras at the shop, the annual safety meeting, and then just some safety gear and equipment. And then we had the Monroe County Education Foundation. That was for that teacher resource supply trailer. The Board of Education, and that's for all the schools. We had the Career Tech come, and they were wanting to purchase 15 of the uniforms. The Monroe County High School was wanting 9,000 for Chromebooks, update Chromebooks, and 20 screens and towers. And then the elementary, they had the headphones, $3,000, attendance program celebration, $3,000, and then $1,000 in the Leader in Me Club Day. But those are the only schools that applied or gave us a letter.
They didn't come submit that. That was just a letter sent to you, correct?
The Career Center, she came and talked,
Okay,
and
yeah.
somebody from the high school
And the elementary.
and the elementary came.
Okay. I didn't remember seeing all of those. That's why I asked.
The Extension Service, they sent a letter, no one responded. It's for their youth leadership that they have out there, and they requested the 8,000.
I'm not sure if they had it this last year.
I'm not even sure.
They didn't have a banquet, I know that.
What about the junior high school? You didn't get anything?
Mhm. That's the middle school.
Yeah.
No one submitted anything. RSVP, $10,000, and that's just to help. I know they do the ramps for the senior citizens and other miscellaneous items to help the seniors out in the area.
She came, did she?
Yeah, that was Miss Jamie came
So,
until I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they probably hired a coordinator by now.
They
Yeah, they
had,
have,
yeah, Miss
Miss
Gwen
Kate.
Richardson came with us. too.
Yes.
that's right.
The hospital, I haven't received anything, which I know they're kind of overwhelmed. But normally we give them 15,000 to help out with, most time it's, they've been saying signage detail out of the hospital, just because everything's starting to get moved, they needed signage, I know in the past.
And the Health Foundation came. But that's it.
Yeah, the Health Foundation came, but the hospital didn't.
I would put 15 in there for them. Fifteen.
And then we have the Monroeville Symphony, that's for the symphony and, because renting the place is free, we get it free out there at the college. The Chamber of Commerce asked for 11,000 this year, and that would be 3,000 for the summer nights, 6,000 for Visit Monroeville website, $1,000 for the Taste of Monroeville, and $1,000 for Monroeville Market. And I know she said they don't have those events, they don't ask for it. If anything happens, that they have to cancel. The college, they haven't submitted anything in a couple of years. College. Okay. Beautification, tree replacement, I've asked Tim and I asked Michael. They haven't given me anything. They were talking about replacing some that has died that they just got. So I don't know. I've asked, so.
Put two in there, at least, and look at what we have a balance, to give us a little more idea.
The outlet repair, but
We ain't doing no more right now.
the storm shelter and community garden. I know they had a garden out there
Yeah.
this year, but I guess that's normally what that was for. We would help the garden
Put
out.
$100 in there at least. The one that they, Sarah built the beds. so
Yeah,
All you gotta do is put plants
Plant.
back in, fertilize it, stuff like that.
and then you have the library, and that was for the genealogy room. They said they were pretty much asking for was a scanner, and then also the printer and the desktop that they needed in there. And then this miscellaneous computer supplies to get it was a certain type of software they were asking for. And that equaled up to that. The Health Foundation asked for $5,000 or more. That pretty much goes to the hospital. Paulsell Park and Veterans Park, we didn't have anything
We're
yet.
giving to the YMCA pretty well, taking care of that stuff.
The VFW, their top two things they said was the concrete pad under the plane they needed. And then to sandblast and paint the mortars out there. And then the others was for the plaque and holder stand, ammo carrier, and then screw holders for the flag display. They needed 2 new flags and rose garden update. That totaled of 15,400.
Who cuts that grass? Ricky and them do it? Does one.
Public Works, I think. I'm not sure. They used to cut it, but now since the Y got the fields, they may want it to.
I passed by there today.
The museum asked for $1,000 for their advertisement budget. The community house, she has a wish list, but she doesn't have figures, so it's hard to. The animal shelter, she just asked for the 8,000 like they did last year. She's gonna go get some quotes, but they were needing to replace all the windows. She said they're really bad, and then the kennels inside and outside are really rotten. And in
Gates
repair.
are rusted,
Yeah,
bottom of the gates rusting out and everything, dogs pushing out.
Tinkling off.
the fire equipment, he just requested the same amount for his. He hasn't really spent a whole lot of money, but he didn't. Everything else is normally in the capital improvements they want. The police equipment, they want some bulletproof vests, an armor, and then 5 new tasers. The DRA requested the 10,000. And then we didn't get anything from the task force.
Okay, that gives us, we're gonna probably spend more than we got getting. Yeah. Too close.
For capital improvements. We haven't done any of the income either. Let's see, South Alabama gas dividends. That's looking dope. A lot. That's where they overpaid us one year, and so they have to deduct that amount from our dividends for the next 5 years to recoup that back. But this year we got 225,000. You want to just keep with the 220,000?
So
I mean, it all depends.
a
on
warm,
whether-
cold winter.
Yeah.
Do we need to move on? You know, rest of your meeting time wise or? No,
I'm sorry.
and that's fine.
We got,
The other ones I'm more interested in the fact that we basically know what we're gonna have there. Look at that, but that's-
yeah, at 3:50, we can go into the executive session.